welcome back to my stream today. So basically, what we are going to be talking about today is, we all know that Arsenal will be facing Wolves tomorrow, and by 3 p.m. we're actually going to be facing Wolves in the English EPL. The match is coming off the back of our meeting with the Dynamo Zagbreb in the UEFA Champions League. So it is really very important because it's one of the matches tomorrow that we need to win. We need to win because the way we have been doing in the Premiership needs to step up so that we can actually, close the gap on Liverpool. Because right now, as we can see on the EPL table, you can see that Liverpool is 6 points ahead of us now. Liverpool is 6 points ahead of us. And for the fact that they are 6 points ahead of us, we have to find a way to actually cover this gap. So Mikel Arteta in his usual form, the way he does usually, today was at the Sober reality studio, to answer questions from journalists and every other thing like that. Remember, just a few days ago, we won by 3 goals to 0 against Dinamo Zagbreb in the UEFA Champions League. That match was a really very sweet match. It was one of the matches that really, really made many Arsenal fans become united again. It made us become quite excited about what is to come or what is happening with the club and many of those related things. So, that said, we all know that um, everybody is waiting for transfer. If you're an Arsenal fan, everybody's waiting for transfer. We are all waiting for what does the club hold? What is the club bringing in? Is the club signing anybody? We are all waiting for this. But now that Mikel Arteta is speaking today, we need to learn one or two things from what he has said. I'm going to go on and read some of the things he said at his press conference. Then we can look at them together. So just like I said, he had, his press conference today at the Sober Reality Center. And of course, journalists are going to ask him some questions. So, I mean, 3 p.m. tomorrow, kickoff as we tackle Wolves. It is very, very important match that we need to win. So, of course, we all know that our manager, like every other manager, knows the manager of Wolves. These guys know each other. There is always a way they will get to know each other. Maybe from the place they did, maybe their coaching, licensing or whatever. But this coach always find a way to know each other, and they always find a way to study one another. So Mikel Arteta was asked in the press conference because this is Mikel's Arteta pre-Wolves press conference. So he said, I think we are a much better side than since the start of the season in every sense because we have evolved a lot as a team. We have had some very important experiences, and the way we have competed throughout the last 6 or 7 months with everything that has happened, it is outstanding. Yes, I agree, it is outstanding. Arsenal has really, really, really performed very well. Arsenal has really, really performed very well. To think of the fact that by the start of the season we had issues on red card issues. Then now we are having injury problems, and many of these related problems. You will see that we are really, really trying. And with all of these things, we are still second on the table. Man City did not even have any of this problem. The only problem they just have is that they are playing badly. Arsenal is not entirely playing badly, if we are being honest. We are not entirely playing badly. We are not entirely bad like that. But the problem we have is that we are not able to score goals as well. Because right now, as far as I'm concerned, I think we have actually given Liverpool the edge, the leverage. Because Liverpool is supposed to be trailing us now. If, for example, we have been able to convert many of the chances that we have had. So, looking at it that way, you realize that we have not really played badly. I mean, somebody sent something to me on WhatsApp, and what the person sent to me on WhatsApp is a tweet from someone which says that if Havertz didn't play for Arsenal, he'd be getting world-class shoutouts between 17 goals and assists in 30 games isn't bad for a so-called flop. So we all have been criticizing Havertz for goodness sake. We all have been saying that Havertz has not been playing well. Havertz has not been doing fine, but this guy has 17 goals already this season, both goals and assists this season. Mohamed Salah has about 20 something. So it's not entirely a flop like the way we have all been clamoring, the way we have all been saying it. And I think it's about time that Arsenal fans really, really need to look in depth and begin to appreciate the players that we have. These guys are trying. It's not easy to win football match. I know that we want to win titles. I know we want to brag as a fan. We want to really, really, be able to say that okay, we won this, we did that. But at the same time, it is important that we need to also understand that these guys are really, really trying. Harvard, for example, if Harvard was able to score more goals, because I did that in my last video, I said it in my last video that if Harvard is, for example, able to score more goals, Harvard will be a world class player. Then there is something about playing for Arsenal. Once you play for Arsenal, you are not respected. Bukayo Saka is not a world class yet because he doesn't play for Madrid. The day Bukayo Saka begins to play for Real Madrid, he becomes a superstar. Everybody begins to appreciate Bukayo Saka. Everybody begins to look at Bukayo Saka, not with the same high. So when you look at what is really, really going on, when you look at the way we have structured our team, with the fact that we have injuries, Odegaard has gone for injury, he came back, Merino, all of these guys have been. Now, right now, we have Saliba. We have a Saliba house on injury. I mean, he has a hamstring related problem. So when you look at all of these, we are not doing entirely bad. Honestly, we are not doing entirely badly. We are third, we are second on the EPL table, third in the Champions League. And then everybody keeps criticizing us now just because it's us now. So let me go on with what Mikel Arteta has to say in his press conference. So, I mean, I haven't read this. Then he went on to say that I know Victor very well from previous clubs and as well, and what his ideas are, and it is very clear how we set up his team. He has a really good impact on the team, and it will be a really tough match tomorrow. So, Mikel Arteta is not ruling out the fact that the match tomorrow is going to be a really tough one. We all know that tomorrow that match is not really going to be easy, just like the way we all have thought it's going to. No, but it is important that we win that match tomorrow because number one, if they are coming to the Emirate Stadium, and number two, we need to close the gap with Liverpool. Honestly, I don't even know who Liverpool is playing tomorrow, though. But we need to actually close the gap with Liverpool. Let me even see who they are playing tomorrow. Liverpool fixtures. Who exactly are they playing tomorrow? Okay, so um, okay, so they're actually playing Ipswich tomorrow. This one is a no-brainer. So Liverpool has 3 points from this match as well tomorrow because, of course, they are playing Ipswich tomorrow. And if Liverpool is playing Ipswich tomorrow, we are not expecting anything serious. We know that they are going to win that match tomorrow. And because of that, Arsenal too need to win his own match. We need to win our match because if we don't win our match tomorrow, Liverpool right now are just they are just 6 points ahead of us. They will take it to 10. They will take it to 9 points. So we need to win to at least maintain that gap of 6 points because they are going to score more goals tomorrow. And also, they are also going to, you know, try to maintain the gap or increase the gap more. So going on with what Mikel Arteta has to say, Pereira, I believe in my players, I believe in our work, I have confidence. Of course, we are facing a very strong team, but we are still together. We believe, and tomorrow we will play at our best level. I want my team to play in the way that we should play. The last game, in my opinion, was not a good game from us. We changed a lot of our behaviors, and this is not what I want from my team. I want identity. I want us to try to play in our way, not to react to other teams. So against Arsenal, we must show tactical maturity because they are very strong for sure. But I have confidence in my players. I have confidence in our work. We are working to improve our game. We don't have a lot time to do it, but we are trying to do it. So on our team news, that is on Arsenal's team news, Miles Lewis, Kelly, and William Saliba are close to returning back from injuries, but it is a touch and go. as to whether they will feature in the West Midland. So there are no certainties if they are going to feature tomorrow. We all know that Arsenal is facing a serious problem with injuries right now. We have a lot of our players on injury list. And like our last game, for example, we saw Zinchenko who came back from injury and he played really very well. We saw Kiwior play, with Gabriel at the back. And I was really excited with how we set up. So I don't think it's really going to be a big deal tomorrow, playing Wolves at home on how we are going to set up. I know that there are talks about Zinchenko wanting to leave us now. Likely going to Inter Milan. But then if Zinchenko is going to Inter Milan, we have other players. I know the injuries are there right now. So Mikel Arteta is actually talking about this. Then we all know that Ben White also. Ben White continued to be out for contention, but he's making a good progress from a knee injury. While Bukayo Saka and Takahiro Tomiyasu remain sidelined for a foreseeable future. Takahiro Tomiyasu, for as long as I can remember, has had injury. He is always injured. These are the kind of players we need to ship out and actually bring in attackers, bring in forward, bring in, left, right, and center. Forward players that are actually going to help us score more goals. And probably convert Havertz to maybe a six or maybe a six or a 10 or something like that too, so that they can actually support in the attack. Because as at the time he came to Arsenal, he did not even come to Arsenal as a striker. If we all remember that, Kayava did not come to Arsenal as a striker. He was only transitioned there to become a striker. So going forward, Mikel Arteta says it remains to be seen if Mario Lemina will feature after he was dropped from the squad for Monday's 2-1 loss at Chelsea after refusing to play against the Newcastle United, amidst reports of the transfer interest from Saudi Arabia. That is on the side of Wolves now, and Pereira has indicated he may not select the former club captain whilst the window is open. So this is a normal thing. So fact and stats, you know, in the EPL, for example, we have won our last 10 Premier League away games against Wolves, although they are coming to our side. Our highest win rate against any side we have faced more than 5 times on the road in the competition. We have scored in each of our last 34 meetings with Wolves in all competition since the 1-0 home loss in February 1979. It's both our longest scoring streak against any opponent and Wolves' longest run without a clean sheet. So this is saying that we're actually going to win tomorrow, and at the same time, we're going to score goals tomorrow. So match official on Twitter. A lot of people have been complaining about the match official. The match official actually is Mike Oliver, and we all know that Michael Oliver, whenever he blow for Arsenal like that, there is always controversy. There is always issues with the way he blow and everything like that. So hopefully tomorrow is going to blow properly. Sorry, tomorrow is going to blow properly. Tomorrow there won't be any cause for alarm. There won't be any reason to actually doubt the capabilities of Michael Oliver, because for the fourth time this season, one of our games will be presided over by Michael Oliver, with us taking 5 points from encounters against Aston Villa, Manchester City, and Chelsea. Those results extended our run to one loss in our last 9 matches under his watch. So we have not really had a good result under the watch of this manager, and it is really not something that we are happy about. So, how is Mikel Arteta likely to set up tomorrow? I think Mikel Arteta tomorrow is going to be setting up the way he set up against Dinamo Zagbreb, where we were able to, control the midfield and move the ball forward and every other thing like that. But at the same time, what I do not want to see is I actually do not want to see Thomas Partey playing as a two. I want to see Thomas Partey because Mikel Arteta is stubborn. There is always a way he finds ways to do whatever he wants to do, and not what I think will work for the team. I know he's the manager. I know he knows more than I do. But in recent times, every time we use Thomas Partey as a two, we have ended up not actually being able to transition properly. we have ended up not actually being able to control the midfield well. So tomorrow we need the total control of the midfield. I don't know if Konya will play tomorrow, but he's likely going to play tomorrow. He has a lot of transfer talks around him. Maybe whether or not it's going to come to Arsenal or going to go to Nottingham Forest or whatever deal that is in place right now. So I'm still looking for preview Wolves. Okay. So in our recent visit to Wolves, that was in the 2023-2024 season, Odegaard actually scored, and we won by 2 goals to 0 away. So Molineux has been a happy hunting ground for us in the Premier League era, having won 8 of our last 10 visits, including each of the last three without conceding a single goal. So we have been winning these teams without even conceding a single goal. And in our last couple of matches at Wolves' home, that is at the Molineux Stadium, we have been scoring goals, but they have not been scoring. So last season saw us triumph 2-0 thanks to a strike from Leandro Trossard and Martin Odegaard to keep us in the title hunt. While the campaign before our Norwegian skipper grabbed a brace to send us to the top of the table ahead of the 2022 World Cup break. So we all remember this season. This season was one of the most, traumatic season for me as an Arsenal, as an Arsenal fan. And because I actually thought we were going to win the Premier League as at this point in time. I actually thought we were going to win the Premier League as at this point in time. So, you know, everybody's expecting Kai to score tomorrow. I'm also rooting for Kai Havertz to score tomorrow. I really, really want Kai Havertz to score tomorrow so that they can increase his tally to 18 goals, in all competition. I mean, 18 goals and assists in all competition. This guy has not been doing badly. Let us stop criticizing Kai Havertz. I personally will stop criticizing Kai Havertz for now. I mean, Nunes and the likes has not even scored up to this guy. Let me even see, you know, goal scoring in the EPL. Um, let me see Premier League top scorers. Okay, so right now the Premier League top scorers are actually Mohamed Salah, Erling Haaland with 17 goals, Allen Salah Isaac with 15 goals, Cole Palmer with um, with 14 goals. Look, I have actually has 7 goals, but I think he has provided about 10 assists. So I know he's way off what Mohamed Salah has scored, but we don't have anybody right now, and I don't see Arsenal actually making a transfer. I don't see Arsenal actually making a transfer this transfer window. Do not expect that Arsenal is going to make any transfer this transfer window because the way I'm saying it is that I think the Kroenkes have spent so much money, but maybe from their own hand, they're actually feeling that with all the money they have given to Micheal Arteta, he has not really brought in the kind of players that he should have brought in that will really impact the team. So they may actually be thinking that from their own angle as well. They may actually be thinking that from their own hand that we have given Mikel Arteta this certain amount of money. Look at the players who have brought in. It's not our problem. But at the same time, right now, both the Kroenkes, because from the way Arteta has been speaking in the press conference, for example, it is showing that Mikel Arteta is showing some level of there is a little I can do. They are the one that are going to bring in these players. So I was on Twitter and I was checking, tweets from everybody. And, one of the tweets I saw, I didn't save that tweet in particular, was that, he was actually complaining that it is very difficult to actually bring in players. Let me read out some of the things that is happening on Twitter. So Arteta, we lost two very important players in Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus. We lack goals, we lack people, and we lack options. It is clear. If we can get the right players, that is why we are actively looking at. We are working on it. Now, Mikel Arteta says they are working on players, but Manchester City has brought in two players already in Mamouche and this other guy. I can't remember his name now. They are active in the market. We have similar problems. Similar problems in the sense that Arsenal is not in its best form, but at the same time, we are lucky enough to be in the right places on the table. So when you look at the fact that we are in the right place on the table, and Man City believes they are not in the right place on the table, but they are active already in the market. They are looking at bringing in players. They are shaking the market already. They want. I mean, Kai Walker is already in AC Milan as we speak, trying to do his medicals because Kai Walker has gotten to a stage he can no longer play for Manchester City. Although he's a loan transfer, but just forget that he's gone. Man City are not actually emotionally attached to players. Arsenal are. We Arsenal fans are emotionally attached to a player. For example, we don't want Kai Havertz to leave our club. We don't want Sterling to leave our club. And they are not even performing well. We want every player to stay in our club, but it doesn't happen like that with Man City. The moment you are not delivering, the moment you are not playing the way you're supposed to play, I mean, they yank you off. So I think we need to actually follow this footstep. We need to actually follow this line, you know. So going on with what we are seeing in Twitter, you know, could Arsenal bring in reinforcement during the January transfer window? I don't see that. I don't think that is actually going to be likely. I don't think that is going to be possible. Let me play this. So, I mean, Mikel Arteta is not really now the possibility of actually bringing in players. But the problem is that these transfers are being delayed. If we are not bringing in players now, we are just wasting our time for goodness sakes. We are wasting our time for goodness sake. The transfer window is not waiting for us, and we have a very good chance of even going far in the Champions League, for example. Because right now we are third in the Champions League, we are second in the Premier League. So the club, either Mikel Arteta or the Kroenkes, need to really help the Arsenal fans. They need to help us bring in players for goodness sakes. I would be very happy if I see signings, Sesko, whoever it is, just break the bank and bring in these players. So going on with what's happening on Twitter, as I read through, so here says Mikel Arteta confirms Arsenal transfer plans amidst injury to Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus ahead of Wolves clash. I just read it out in the press conference. You know, and then Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta confirms club interest in transfer. Now, this is something very